Jelle and Nygel back for round 3. We saw Jelle earlier in the evening as well as plenty of times on the channel with this deck, but as a quick reminder for those of you who maybe haven't seen the Elder Deep-Fae in action, it is a mono blue deck that tries to play a tempo game early and eventually curve out into Elder Deep-Fiend as well as Mistbind Click to tap your lands and kill you with whatever is on the field. And well, both Elder Deep-Fiend and Mistbind Click are significantly of size, so that shouldn't be too difficult usually. And then on the right side we have Nygel, who we saw last round against Joris. Managed to beat him 2-1. A bit of an older deck, fell out of favor over the past few months, but is still able to do very, very powerful things with Heliod Suncrowned. And then either a Walking Ballista means you can do an infinite amount of damage, or a Spike Feeder means you can get infinite life. Bit of a lag spike here. 1 second. Should be better now. So we see Ranger Captain of Eels getting countered by Spellstutter Sprite from Jelle. Spellstutter, a excellent tempo card. Trying to counter a bunch of small things and then swing in for a bunch of damage. Just barely can't make out the life total of Nygel here. I believe he is at 12 right now. I believe that's correct. If it's not, then my apologies. But regardless, Jelle applying a lot of pressure here, showing the power of this deck, being able to just pressure even before trying to go for a Elder Deep-Fiend or a Mistbind Click kill. Bunch of evasive flyers with disruptive abilities, just a all-around very, very effective way to threaten one's life total. As we have another swing for 5. Wait, it's Spellstutter? No, Spellstutter 1-1. Never mind, he is supposed to be at 10. Yeah, after the fetch by Nygel, of course. Nevertheless, Nygel's life total under some serious pressure. Looks like Spike Feeder was the draw for the turn, is definitely going to help keep him alive for now, as is Oriok champion. Another 3 mana Spike Feeder coming down. Going to gain Nygel a life. Going to put 2 counters on the Spike Feeder, and has a way to not die on the spot immediately, should that become necessary. Going back down to 8. Mistbind Click going to be flashed in at the start of Nygel's turn, which doesn't completely cut Nygel off of mana here. He still has a Noble Hierarch and an Arbor Elf, so still has some mana going here, but not a lot he can do at instant speed. Potentially he has like a Collected Company. It looks like he does in fact have the Collected Company. Gonna have to see if Nygel manages to maybe find the combo. Looks like Jelle didn't have any interaction here. Well, I mean, he is tapped out. I'm not sure if he's playing Force of Negation in the main right now. Finds the Heliod as well as a Conclave Mentor, and that is going to seal the deal here for game 1. The Collected Company, of course, has a very high cost to actually play, because getting 2 creatures on a consistent basis is not easy, but when you do, the power of the card is very present, is very real, as we saw. Is 4 mana, it's relevant, but not as relevant as it being an instant that can, in some cases, just straight up win you the game. So, impressive showing here, once again for Nygel, with Jelle stumbling a little bit. Game 1, let's see if he can play it back. Counterspell going to hit the Spike Feeder. Actually, I say stumble, but Jelle's deck was operating fairly optimally, actually. It was maybe a turn or two slow, which against a combo deck like Nygel has is potentially all you need. But Jelle did have a clock. We'll have to see how this game goes, as Jelle doesn't seem to have a clock. Probably has more interaction than I would assume. Looks like a Walking Ballista for 2. Now, a Walking Ballista in this matchup is a very dangerous thing, as most of Jelle's creatures have a toughness of 1. Notable exceptions being the Mistbind Click and the Elder Deep-Fiend. Rapid Hybridization. Gonna try and get rid of the Walking Ballista. Veil of Summer is going to make sure that doesn't happen. Rapid Hybridization, a mono blue creature removal. Which, well, if you're playing mono blue, then having a way to remove the text of a creature can be very effective. But fortunately, doesn't end up actually sticking thanks to this Veil of Summer. Now, Fairy Seer, a Mono Horizons 1 card. A very good card in Delver strategies in Pauper, specifically, as it enables Ninja of the Deep Hours. Doesn't see quite as much play in other formats, but it is a very good fairy if you have some kind of fairy synergy for sure. Which, as we saw in game 1, Jelle definitely has a bunch of. Also worth mentioning, it is a wizard. A lot of Jelle's creatures are wizards, and he is playing a little bit of wizard synergy. We'll look at that if and when it comes up. Now, a Conclave Mentor coming down for Nygel. And also cracking a bunch of canopies here. Probably missed a couple points of damage here on the side of Nygel. Unfortunately, his dice is slightly off screen. Camera is a bit rotated, unfortunately, but we'll make it work somehow. Right now, Nygel is the one actually doing things. Another Arbor Elf as well. Pester Might during Nygel's end step. Going to tap the Walking Ballista. Pester Might, I believe, is another 2-1. Yeah, it is a 2-1. This Walking Ballista potentially very dangerous. Oh, maybe I didn't miss any damage. Looks like Nygel is at 15 right now. Oh, good for me. Yay. Walking Ballista going to attack. Try and get in a bit of damage. Start us off here. Double Arbor Elf with a double Utopia Sprawl land means that this Walking Ballista is most likely going to be quite dangerous. Conclave Mentor also giving another counter here. There's now a 4/4 Ballista. And not only threatening Jelle's life total here, but his board state as well. Skyclave Apparition coming down as well. Going to try and take care of the Pestermite. Going to sacrifice it in response for an Elder Deep-Fiend. Worth mentioning, Elder Deep-Fiend's Emerge is not something you can respond to with a Walking Ballista. Very relevant piece of text right there. It's going to come in and try and tap down a bunch of Nygel's things here. In response, Nygel gonna float another couple of mana. This board gets tapped. Plays a Horizon Canopy, which gets sacked. That's 3 canopies already used by Nygel this game. And is now completely tapped out with an Elder Deep-Fiend staring him down. But will it be enough is the question. Mutavault also coming in here. Gonna swing in for 8. Looks like Nygel is content taking the 8. Puts him at 7. And really doesn't feel like he's under any sort of pressure here. Looks like he does have a second Walking Ballista in hand. Could potentially even kill the Elder Deep-Fiend here. Let's see, that's going to be 6. Going to be 9. Going to be 10 mana. A Walking Ballista for 5. That Spell Stutter Sprite is missing quite a few fairies to counter that. And Jelle realizing that that is going to be far too much Walking Ballista value here. Nygel is going to be able to kill anything that Jelle is potentially going to be able to keep on the field and just close out the game in the meantime. So, yeah, another impressive showing by Heliod. Nygel taking down 2-0.